When my friends and coworkers asked me what I was going to be doing this weekend, I told them the truth. I'm flying to Oregon to marry my best friend. Everyone got really excited for me until I explained that I'd simply become a minister on the internet, so that I could marry one of the most important people in my life to one of the other most important people in my life. Kyle, Kristin, Schick family, Vanderburgh family, assorted friends and guests, welcome. We're gathered here today because, in one way or another, Kristin and Kyle have touched our lives. They're two of the most energetic, outgoing, and relentlessly ambitious people I've ever met. And as we come together today to celebrate their love for each other, I think we should look back at the ways in which they've touched each other's lives. Because Kristin and Kyle's story isn't simply the story of two people who love each other. It's the story of two very ambitious people who discovered that their greatest ambition was for a life together. I first met Kristin in high school in the year 2004. It was a simpler time, before the iPhone and Justin Bieber. And back then, Kristin was dead set on moving to New York City to become a high-powered businesswoman / romance novelist. In pursuit of that goal, Kristin had filled her schedule with extracurricular activities, from the speech and debate team to the National Honor Society to the DECA Business Management Club. Kristin was more committed to excellence than anyone I had ever known before. And on the day that we were introduced, I immediately knew two things about her. One, this woman scared the crap out of me. And two, she had the drive and tenacity to get whatever it was she wanted out of life. Kyle also met Kristin in high school, through their church group during their freshman year. As Kristin was setting her sights on the boardroom, Kyle set his sights on the laboratory. Inspired by one of his science teachers, he wanted to pursue a career in research, where he could do life-saving work that would help people. Kyle wasn't sure which branch of science he wanted to go into, so he experimented with all of them. He took advanced placement chemistry and advanced placement biology. And although our high school didn't have an AP physics program, Kyle was an offensive lineman on our state champion football team, where he learned plenty about how difficult it can be to stop an object in motion. After high school, Kristin and Kyle followed their ambitions to college. Kristin at the University of Oregon and Kyle at the University of Portland. It was in college that both began to realize that their ambitions had changed since high school. At U of O, Kristin majored in accounting, but started to doubt that a high-powered business career was really what she wanted for herself. At U of P, Kyle changed his major to nursing when he decided that he wanted to help people more directly than simply by doing research. As Kristin and Kyle were rediscovering what it was they wanted to do with their lives, they also rediscovered each other. After bumping into one another by chance after a concert in Portland, the two felt an immediate connection and began dating. Initially, Kristin didn't know where her life was going, and she confessed to me that she didn't know if there was going to be room in it for someone else. As it turned out, Kristin and Kyle's connection was so strong and so deep that within 3 months, they'd moved in together. At first, as Kristin's best friend, I was scared that moving this quickly might hurt Kristin. Instead, Kyle has made Kristin happier and more at peace than I have ever seen her in our decade-long friendship. Never before have I been so glad to be so wrong about something. Kristin and Kyle came into one another's lives during a period of uncertainty, as they tried to figure out what it was the future held for them. When the ambitions that had once guided them were up in the air, it was the strength of their love for each other that gave them a steady ground from which they could chart their course together. After college, Kristin and Kyle moved to Portland, where they supported one another through a difficult job search in a shaky economy. Eventually, both were able to find jobs, but the work didn't live up to their ambitions. Kristin's job at a small marketing agency wasn't fulfilling, while the administrative nature of Kyle's first nursing position didn't give him the patient interaction that he craved. When Kyle was offered a better job in San Antonio, it was with Kristin's support that he accepted it. And together, the two moved halfway across the country, to a city where they had no friends or family, to begin a new life together. The next 2 years were not easy for Kristin and Kyle, between loneliness, culture shock, and 2 scorching Texas summers. But for every challenge, they were there for each other, and through it all, they endured. On February 19th, 2011, Kyle dragged Kristin out of bed, loaded her and their adopted dog Riley into the car, and drove her to an overcast beach in South Texas, where he pulled out a ring and asked her to become his wife. As you may have guessed, she said yes. Months later, when Kyle was offered a better job at a hospital in Portland, he accepted it. And together, the newly engaged couple finally returned home. Now, Kyle is working his way to becoming a charge nurse at Providence Portland Medical Center, saving lives and helping people on a nightly basis. Kristin is working her way up the ladder at Providence Health and Services, a more meaningful version of the business career she once wanted. Together, they own a home. Every morning before work, Kristin picks up Kyle from the hospital. On the weekends, they garden together and go to brunch. These are the fruits of Kristin and Kyle's ambitions. Together, they can achieve more happiness, more stability, and more love than they could alone. And today, we come together to celebrate and commemorate the power and strength of that love. Kristin, knowing you has been, bar none, the most rewarding and fulfilling experience of my life. I've never been more proud of you, and I have never loved you more. Kyle, I'm just really excited for you to marry my best friend. It's brought me so much joy to see the life that you two have built together so far, and I can't wait to see where it takes you next. This time, Kristin and Kyle have prepared some words that they would like to share with each other and with all of you.
Call back to Paula, right? In your eyes, I found home. In your heart, I found love. With you, I'm happy, fulfilled, alive. You make me laugh. You let me cry. You are my breath, my every heartbeat. I'm yours.
Well, it's good to have you go first. I want to make a promise to you. And it is, I will always show you my love, even when you may not deserve it. And I promise to always earn your love, even when I don't deserve it. And I want to spend the rest of my life sharing everything.
May we have the rings? Kyle, do you take Kristin to be your wife?
I do.
Kristin, do you take Kyle to be your husband?
I do.
With the power vested in me by the state of Oregon, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kyle and Kristin Vanderschick.
Love is the answer, at least, to most of the questions in my heart. Like why are we here, where do we go, how come it's so hard? It's not always easy, and sometimes life can be